Let me ask this also. After a successful pilot in May, you mentioned the rapid DNA processing. You all awarded a $5.2 million contract for additional DNA testing and supplies. Can you give me an idea how that program's going, the rollout? How's it looking?
It's looking, when I say it's looking good, I mean that from an operational perspective. From a criminal justice and victimization perspective, it's looking bad because we ran the first week of it. Last week, we've opened up in 7 different Border Patrol facilities. We've got 2 machines in each facility with more machines to come. And within the first week, there were 102 referrals to us. We found 17 instances of fraud based on the DNA test. And in fact, this is an experience we saw when we ran the pilot as well. 14 of the individuals broke to the fact that they weren't really family units to begin with at all before they even took the DNA test because they saw that that was a potential for them. So we're continuing to pursue that as that rolls out and we add additional machines and capability. I'm sure the results will go up significantly. And I'm hopeful that there's some deterrent effect with that as well because the word spreads.
Yeah, yeah. And how many family groups have you discovered through that where it's not a parent, but it's an aunt, an uncle, that sort of thing?
So we've got a couple things going on at one time. We've had about, if you look at just the family fraud investigations that have been going on in the surge that we've got down there that's going on for several months, we're only getting the cases that Border Patrol refers it to us, so we've had about 3,000 cases referred to us. Through the investigative process, we found about 400 of those to be fraudulent. Most of them, there are some that are family members. Usually what happens, but when we're saying that they're fraudulent, they're presenting themselves as if they actually are father and son or mother and son, whatever the case may be. Or what we're finding a lot of them is that they're actually adults. So you've got an uncle that's 32 years old and you've got a kid that's 19 years old and he comes in and says, this is my 17-year-old kid, release us as a family unit. So we've actually presented 790 prosecutions during this time and 682 have been accepted for prosecution. What we're also seeing, which is very troubling to us and we're doing our best to combat it, is a lot of the individuals claiming to be UACs aren't UACs. We're finding individuals that are 23, 24 years old coming up with 16-year-old or 17-year-old birth certificates. We're extremely concerned about that because those individuals are going to go into HHS custody. And the last thing we want is a 24-year-old male being in custody with a bunch of 10-year-old boys. That is an untenable situation for all concerned. You know, our overarching goal, as we've said all along, is to keep the safety of these children. And so we've identified 59 of those, 58 of those have been prosecuted. The U.S. Attorney's offices down on the southwest border has been a tremendous partner for us.
Thank you for your service. Madam Chair, I yield back.